What is up, disc golf fans? This is Derek Scull and Chris German, and we are Gatekeeper Media. We are super stoked to be starting our season off right with the 2019 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova Golf Discs. This is a really fun card for us to start. We are doing MPO 3 for the entirety of this tournament, and we got our coverage covered by Millennium Golf Discs.
Yeah, this was picked by the fans, this card here, and I am super stoked. We have James Conrad here, Paul Ulibarri, Zach Melton, and Calvin Heimburg. We're starting off on the Infinite Disc. Have some new graphics this year too.
Little fresh, yeah. Little old, little new here. So we are trying something different. So please, everybody, you gotta trust the process.
Yeah, I love it. So AB, the new young gun, he's sitting at 13 under, so he's having the hottest round, and he has a couple holes left. As we're going to be starting off here on hole 1, 273 feet, par 3. There was a guardian tree here that did come down. They did move the basket back a little bit. Not really any OB or anything in the way, so a pretty standard shot for lefties and righties.
Yeah, one of the shortest holes on the course. You're going to find yourself in a little bit of trouble if you're short, but if you crest on over there, a lot of room to be playing around.
So we have Conrad here. He was the 2018 MVP Open down at Maple Hill last year. How was it to film on this hole? I felt like this was one of the harder holes to film for T-Box.
The palmettos get in the way of either look. So, and then when you're right behind somebody, you run the risk of having them step right in front of your shot. So that one, fortunately, landed right in front of you. That was a massive push from Conrad over there to start his round.
Yeah, he threw that right up the gut. As we have Paul Ulibarri here, he recently switched over to Discraft. He is the captain for Discraft.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to have been, the inaugural crew to film him after the switch. So, we'll see how it plays out, folks.
Crazy off season. So Paul here is going to go with a big hyzer shot. And this is really about distance control and being able to place it near the basket.
You got a hyzer, you got this shot.
Good shot there from Paul. He's going to have a look for his birdie. And we have Zach Melton here, the only lefty. Me being a fellow lefty, I love seeing lefties on the card. And it's going to be interesting seeing how he plays this out, as mostly everything is kind of tailored towards the righty backhand.
100%. And I will say right off the bat, I lose it almost instantly.
Yeah.
That palmetto didn't do me any favors.
It's all right, because you know what? I lost it too until it lands there.
Yeah, it's not an ideal hole for a lefty, but it doesn't look like Zach lets that stop him at all.
Yeah, we were dusting some of the cobwebs off here. This was the first hole. We were back in it. We haven't filmed since September of last year, I think.
I will say I did dabble in doing the new project we have going on, Gatekeeper Mobile. But other than that, no. Not with the true gear.
Like this. Not with the top dogs. As Calvin shoots that really far past the basket. He's going to have almost 50, 60 footer here.
Now, if everybody's been following along on our social medias, you already know the outcome to this, but those new to this broadcast, would it be a broadcast?
Yeah, we're gonna
rewind that.
Yeah, we're gonna rewind this for you.
So
beautiful.
Those new and tuning into our coverage, we welcome to the Gatekeeper Rewind.
Yeah, all the way from the East Coast. We're a long way from home here. It was interesting coming out here, and it was funny because this off season you said no matter what, we're going to Vegas. And it happened.
Very, very big shout out to the PDGA. They were very accommodating and making sure that we were a part of this. So, thanks a lot, guys.
Zach, he's a little outside the circle here as well.
With that massive spin putt, he gets all up in there.
Got some fans over there that he's kind of dabbing out for. So, Paul, we're going to see his first putt with the Discraft disc.
I wonder what he's putting with. What that go-to...
Yeah, no, he's been very quiet this offseason. No one really knows. Paul had a lot of building his bag and everything, but no one really knows what the other Paul has here.
And being, the team captain, I'm very curious.
Yeah, for sure. So James should be able to clean this up. Now, this was interesting. So when we flew out here, we skipped about 8 to 10 inches of snow over here on the East Coast. Yeah. When we landed there, what happened that first night we were there?
Oh, it snowed all night. And then it turned to rain, and then it slowed down, and then it rained again.
It was very interesting waking up to snow here for the first round. The ladies got to actually even get to play in it early in the morning.
Which is what a way to really start the season of coverage with something that's so rare.
For sure. It was really funny, just people freaking out about the snow, and I was like, oh, it's like only like an inch.
Well, I remember one of the days we went out and it was in the 50s, mid 50s, and people thought we were crazy for just wearing sweatshirts.
Yeah.
But it's a lot colder over here in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So we're gonna move into the second hole here. This is sitting at 354. This is another pretty standard hyzer shot. They did move the tee box back into this little meadow here.
Yeah, and that makes it a lot tighter.
Yeah, for sure. Guardian trees there that do play a factor.
It looks like that rough over there slowed James's shot down a little bit, but he did break on through to the other side.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that. You have the catchphrases down packed today, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
We'll see how many more we get. So Zach's going to elect to go with the forehand. And that die he has is so hard to follow.
I've said it a couple times that it looks lopsided when it's spinning because it has one little wedge of color in it.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit more than that. It's an exaggeration, but it looks like a flat tire rolling down the street.
Yeah, that's kind of how it looks when it's coming at you. Good shot from him, though. He's able to get that in the circle. Calvin on the box.
And see what I mean by, it's very easy for the players to kind of block your vantage point. But, you work with what you got.
Yeah, I think hole 1 and 2 were the hardest to film for you.
The tightest, yeah.
On A-cam, it was the hardest for sure. So Calvin's able to get down there. Paul, the only one who didn't take the birdie last hole. And right out of the hand, you can tell he doesn't like that. That's going to sail.
And it has a bad reaction to that little hillside there, and it's going to push him to furthest from the pin.
It's a long look. Gives it a semi-bid.
Yeah, it stabled up pretty good on him at the end there, though.
Now, you were talking about this shot, how calming you feel with this shot.
I know. It's like, so I was trying something a little different as well. And I know that you and I had both talked about it. We're keeping things a little wide. So, because I know this is your camera, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How's everybody feel about that? Do you like seeing the whole thing play out in one shot? Do you like it moving with the disc? Do you like a combination of the two? Let us know.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of pans before. We kind of opened our lens out a little bit more this time. Calvin's able to knock that one in. Good putt from him. And that's a great way to start. I mean, 2 down through 2.
Oh, yeah.
Can't ask for much more. Zach trying to keep pace.
Which, I mean, the putt that he made hole 1, this should be a easy 2
walk
for
in
him.
the park. Zach's able to get his birdie. Both of these guys are going to take their par.
And it hasn't rained yet in us filming, but shout out to Black Ace Gear. They hooked it up with some rain jackets, and they came in real clutch.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to look back at some of the previous winners here. Eagle Man taking it. This used to be called the Gentleman's Challenge, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They just recently changed it. It's only been at NT for a couple years now. But
Yeah, I think that's when they changed the name.
yeah, but it's exciting. It was awesome being out here. This tournament just ran really well. The staff, the resort, everything here is just
Everyone involved
top-notch.
has a lot of passion for this event.
Yeah, it was great. So we're going to move into hole 3. This is our first par 4. I would say this is kind of a tweener. 621, it goes downhill. We have some bombers on this card, so I expect them to run it. Really push that distance.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have those skills in that arm, why not try to capitalize on getting yourself an eagle?
Yeah. Infinite course being the easier of the courses, I think. This is where you got to rack up those birdies.
Yeah, pump up those stats a little bit,
So Zach's kind of fades on him, just goes to the right of the fairway. But like I said, it's a pretty short hole overall. There's nothing in his way. He should be able to have a manageable up. Calvin with those very bright orange shoes. Can't miss them.
Yeah, they're not really like any other disc golf shoe I've seen before, but yeah,
Works for him.
Yeah, he
Look at this one out of the hand. So this one, I think this might have been the closest I've ever been to getting hit.
This angle makes it look like it hit you right in the gut.
Just bounced off my belly, gave him an extra 20 feet.
That didn't happen, folks. That did not actually happen.
No, but just have to be aware. Step right out of the way. Try to keep the shot. James is doing kind of the same thing. His needs to stable up. He's going a little too far to the right. I would say same distance as Calvin, but just a little more to the right. We'll see if he actually runs it for the eagle. Paul's still trying to get on the board. Seems like his shots are just kind of sailing on him.
Yeah, they are. They do have a little bit of height to them,
Yeah.
but yeah, so he comes up a little short. That just spiked a little too much.
He's kind of flirting with OB a little bit there. So
I will also say, though, starting with just an even keel and just kind of maintaining that, it's not terrible.
Oh, no. Play for par, man.
Yeah, where Zach anticipates playing a little short and having that backstop of the hill.
Yeah, I would say with this being a very easy hole with that hill being there, you could really just throw it anticipating that it's going to catch it.
Yeah, and just hope that you don't get a vicious roll away.
Yeah, it's possible. And that's the thing playing on these ball golf courses with these rolling hills is there's a lot of rollaways. I would say a lot more on the other courses, but
Stay tuned. You may even see a really bad one later in our coverage.
Calvin for the eagle.
I mean, he's got himself there.
Yeah. Easy 3 for him. So he's going to be 3 for 3. Digging those shoes, though.
Yeah, especially on this very dreary day.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, Zach just trying to keep pace. He's also going for his birdie. I would say this is the closest he's been to the basket yet.
Yeah, just putting a little downhill is all.
He got it.
He hit the center bar with a lot of force there. Did you see it rocking the...
Yeah. So both Calvin and Zach getting the turkeys.
Gobble, gobble.
That's a great way to start off this tournament. So Paulie should be able to get this here. And we were going to have ourselves our first star frame, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Las Vegas Challenge, sponsored by Innova Champion Disc. 20 years of support, $500,000. Hope everyone has a good time.
Big shout out to Innova there. As we're going to move into hole 4, going back to a par 3. This is 390 feet. Once again, for lefty and righty, pretty standard hyzer. There is OB to the right there, so you do have to play it a little safe.
Yeah, and you have that little patch in the center there.
It's definitely possible. Zach's going to keep the box. So he has glasses on, which is interesting.
I was just going to say, comment the shades.
I feel like every coverage we always end up talking about shades.
Yeah.
It's either headphones or shades.
I do believe I know the brand he uses, though. I think he has he's sponsored by Shady Rays.
Oh. So he's able to get down there. He's going to have a look for his birdie, try to go 4 for 4. Heimburg, as he really whips that wide. It's coming in hot.
Wow.
Dropping pin high on first contact.
Yeah, it rolls on him uphill, oddly enough, but
I mean, that's how much force he had. So he's going to have a tough look for his birdie. James going pretty straight, knowing it's just going to have a nice fade on it.
and that would be the most ideal.
Yeah, perfect. So Paul finally on the board, sitting at 1 under here through 3. Looks like he kind of got up in your grill a little bit there.
Yeah. You know, and got to stay out of the way, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's just I am because I'm where I'm at because that's the only look I have.
So his is a little short. So that's a pretty long putt for his birdie.
So that step putt is interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely unique to his style.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin, I would say he's done everything so far. I don't see why he can't make this. It just makes it look so easy.
I know.
Just he's gonna be something special. He's gonna take off this year.
Yeah, and he just has that rock steady focus. Like you can see it in his face that like his mind is on the game the entire time.
Stone faced the entire time. Zach airballs that.
Yeah, that's an uncharacteristic putt for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be his first misstep. James for the easy birdie. That's gonna put him at 3 under through 4. So he's starting to pick up some steam here.
Yeah, that's tap in distance for him.
Zach has a decent putt back, but nothing to be afraid of. So look at that house behind us. I remember the first time I saw that house when I was doing the walkthrough, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so if Zach makes this will be his first and only par thus far.
Yeah. He was smelling his mini.
Whatever you got to do to get yourself back in the game.
Yeah. Paul's going to drop that down. We're going to look at a quick highlight of James here when he's parking this beautiful hole. Sitting at a 1034. Only 28 wins in his career, though. I thought that would have been a lot higher.
Yeah.
Personally. Pretty low number, too. 17,000. We move into hole 5. This is going to be a par 3, 360 feet. Pretty similar to the last shot. There is OB to the right there. Standard hyzer shot for a righty. Lefty might try to find the back door there.
It's hard to see where that had
Yeah.
gotten, but
It's not hard to see it land right there.
no, not at all. That needs to settle. It does.
Great shot there from Calvin. I mean, you can't start it any better. I mean, if he would have got an eagle on hole 3, maybe that would have been...
And quite the run up from James.
Yeah. He just turns that over, kind of throws
Yeah,
it right
he's-
into the ground.
Yeah, just like kind of cuts and that's it.
It's going to be a long look. I'm interested to see if Zach's going to go kind of back door around the left side of this tree. Just left there. It looks like it's fading a little early.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, but unobstructed at
Yeah, he
least.
should be all right. Paul sitting at 1 under through 4. Another big hyzer shot from him. So this one's carrying really nice.
Yeah, this one plays really nice
Ooh.
for him.
Look at that. That's a good park job there from Paul.
Yeah, so James finds himself next up. Just could not get over the hump there.
Looks like we have the world champ in the background. She's probably, well, she's not probably, she's definitely following Zach. James just a little to the right there. I'm sure he'll warm up and we'll probably see him make a long putt later on. So I would say this is about the same distance as the one Zach made on hole 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, unobstructed. Ooh.
It's a little low. That's...
There it is. Piece of cake. It's Calvin now, 5 through 5. I was able to get a stroke on the rest of the guys here.
Make sure to head on over to Etchtastic Designs on Facebook as well. They do some really cool laser etching and like for trophies and tags and things.
Yeah, we just got a stamp from them. time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super stoked to use that, as Barella's going to finish up with the hot round at 15 under. Looks like we have some Brian Earhart up there. We have some Barry Schultz. We're moving to hole 6. This is third hardest hole in the course.
And you can see why.
It is a 290-foot par 4. Very interesting, the triple island hole. And it's also, because they wanted to be jerks as they said it, it's also the CTP here for the MPO. So we'll see which one of these guys run it and which guys are going to lay this up.
Did we ever find out what the CTP prize was?
I have no idea. Calvin just lays his up.
Smart play.
And it's safe. Yeah, just play for the 3. Conditions are pretty calm here, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys run it. So this hole had the biggest score separation out of all the holes.
Oh, I bet.
From round 1.
Yeah.
Everything from eagles all the way to triple bogeys.
Oh, man. Imagine every shot. Now, do you have to... There's a different drop zone from every tier, right?
Yeah, so if they don't reach here... So James didn't reach. He's at that drop zone right in front of us.
The first one.
Yeah. So if you get to the second one, like Calvin did, and let's say you missed that one, then you would be at a second drop zone. As we're going to see here, Zach's shot goes near that second drop zone. But just a little too much pepper on it, and that's going to go OB as well. So 3 out of 4 going OB.
Just barely, too.
And that's the one thing about this, not so much this course, but I would say this tournament in general, is the drop zones are very demanding. If you don't make your shot, you're basically re-teeing off. Paul's able to get up there. Nice textbook play.
Well, these consecutive shots here are almost like I'm filming tee-offs again.
Yeah. James barely made it over that. But all these guys, very good players. We're not going to see any running numbers here. Everyone's going to at least be able to get their par. Calvin, as long as no slip-ups happen here, should get his birdie. There's not even a reason really to run that. A little semi-run. And the CTP is up against the basket, so I'm guessing CTP, someone parked it. They had to have.
I don't know if it was removed from anything yet.
Someone had to have hit it. We're the third to last card playing, so throughout the day, I'm sure people have attacked this hole. I'm thinking someone literally parked it. Calvin's going to go 6 under through 6. Double turkey. So we had some big moves this offseason, notably being Paul McBeth, Ricky Wasaki, Kevin Jones, Paul Ulibarri on this card. It was a crazy offseason.
Oh, yeah, for manufacturers, players, courses, I mean, you name it.
Media.
It
even
changed. Yeah, I mean, we were affected by it, too.
Yeah. Hence a lot of change in our style and graphics, I think, kind of tailored towards that.
However, I'm very, very excited because that just means that the growth is really happening, folks.
Yeah.
So just keep pushing, keep plugging, share with your friends, invite them out for a round.
Yeah, introduce the sport to new people. It's Calvin. Let's make that 7 for 7.
Yeah, that's a gimme putt. Come on, man.
Oh, beautiful.
Now, as you can see, folks, I'm way off to the side there.
Yeah.
I had no look. Pretty much as soon as they let go of the disc, they were either in front of me or I lost it behind a tree. So I decided to kind of play a little differently and allow it for, maybe focusing a little bit more on their form because I knew you had an open look from where you were. And I was really glad we could communicate that. We brought the walkies back. So, all of this is very meticulous. We're planning this and calling shots live and in the moment. So,
Oh, man.
it's sometimes very intense.
Beautiful shot. Yeah, I like this angle. It's interesting. It's a must, though. You have to. There's no other way to be at the tee.
You have to work with what you got, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's working with what they're getting, and everyone's parking it in the circle.
There's that
Zach had
lopsided disc again.
Crazy skip. And that's the thing with this grass is you're playing the skips. You're out here knowing these discs are going to skip around. Oh. Off the band. I think Zach just prevented our second star frame here.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to tell when the player knows that that shot is off before it even leaves their hand, or right as it's leaving their hand, rather.
Oh, you know. You can tell. You can feel it. I've been there.
Yeah, and just sometimes you get surprised pleasantly, but most of the time...
We should have a couple tap-ins here for birdies.
Well, I think it's cool that I'm throwing the Scorpius just for the simple fact that they produce them. It's a disc that's very similar to the Destroyer. It has a really similar feel since it was based off of the original Destroyers. It's just not as overstable. I would say for guys that don't have as much power, this is basically, you know, a long-range, multi-purpose shooter, whether it be backhand or forehand. This disc was vital right off the bat.
All right, moving in the hole 8, fifth easiest hole, averaging almost a half a stroke under par here, as most pros are going to pitch out over to the left of this green here, being the OB, knowing that distance really isn't a thing. Very fast green here on their approach shot. They'll have a really light approach shot, probably with a putter. Try to park it.
Yeah, you don't want to go deep, though.
No. And that's the thing, is you can throw it thinking that you're going to hit, and then the green drops right off, and next thing you know, you end up in the out of bounds over there. But like I said, most pros are going to throw over here to the left of the green.
You know, that's probably a little too far left for their liking, but still completely manageable, wide open.
Yeah. Nothing's going to stop them. Where I would feel like amateurs are probably going to throw, because they might not have the distance, try to go attack the green, knowing that they might not reach that green.
Just place it short.
Yeah. Place it short of the green, where these guys, knowing they have the distance, kind of pitch it over to the left. Because their upshot, that 50, 60 foot difference isn't a big difference for them.
No, because they're not throwing full speed anyway.
Exactly. Big hyzer shot here from James, and I would say that's probably where I would want to be. Zach's going to go forehand. He's sitting in 94th right now, so still a lot of golf to play. Most of the cards are in at this point.
Yeah, that worked for him really well. So still a lot of distance to chew off here, but with some nice finesse shots playing that green, like you were saying, we could see some magic happen here.
There it is. You just got to get it up and over this out of bounds here.
Green flag.
And it looks like the hill kind of dips down, so if you get it down in there, it could just roll and get yourself a little leaner.
Yeah, James cooked that one a little extra, so he's going to find himself OB. And again, it's also not fun to walk inside of that rough.
No, he actually made it out to the other side, though. There was a spectator over there that was able to grab the disc for him.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's over here. And he's like, oh, I grabbed it for him. So Paul kind of flirts with the green here, knowing that it's going to skip up. He kind of left himself a little bit too much room, though. So Paul for his birdie.
Oh, that's a vicious splash out. Really
Yeah.
weak left side there.
And that's going to be a tough one to swallow for Paul. Calvin, though, having the complete opposite round here. He's about to go 8 for 8.
Vicious.
Yeah, one away from a perfect 9.
Again, stone face.
Yeah.
No emotion whatsoever.
James going to have to settle for his par. Zach's should get his birdie here. It's going to put him at 4 under. Should get him up in the rankings a little bit. Paul with the tap in. Speaking of Paul here, he's been having a pretty rough start to this 9. He had some pretty rough throws. We could look back here, the splash out that he just had. High rating player though, very good. Captain at Discraft. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns it on here and we see him after moving day.
It's yeah, and also like, you know, there's still a whole season left to play after this too. I mean, this is the start of the NTs and all of the. I know he's got some clinics going on at the Pro Tour events, so him and our buddy Brian working hard out there.
Yeah, we're gonna move into hole 9. Last hole here for the front 9. We're going back to another par 4, 627 feet. This one plays a little different in terms of you're playing on the dirt and the grass is out of bounds. It's a little opposite here, but that's basically what you want to do. You just want to pitch something out there onto that fairway.
Yeah, and where you're landing as fast as ever. I mean, it doesn't slow it down at all. You're going to get a lot of skipping going on.
Yeah, so these players doing distance control, they're not giving it their all. They're just trying to pitch it out there and land in that big open space.
Yeah, all about the placement.
Mm-hmm. So that goes a little quick. A little short for his liking, probably. Paul's skipping a little to the left. Nothing in his way, though. James, not enough room for his run up. You could tell his heels are hitting the back of the wall. But nonetheless.
He really lets it go. Nice flat release. It's going to just glide right on up and finish with a nice skip.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably in the best spot there. Most center of the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
So the green, this approach shot's a little tricky. You just kind of have to get over this grass. There is OB surrounding all places, but as long as you're able to just kind of get it in there, OB behind is pretty far. You should expect all these guys to park these. There it is, a nice shot. Heiser shot the Heiser shot. This Calvin's keeps a lower route, but nonetheless, that ends up in the same spot.
You know, I'm still shocked that we managed to make it through the entire front 9 without getting any rain whatsoever.
I thought it was going to pour.
Yeah, I mean, we're no stranger to that, but it's very nice to not have to worry about it so much.
So Zach, farthest one from the pin here. If he's able to sink this, I think we could say we're going to have ourselves a star frame here. So Zach's 5 under through 9. Pretty decent start. He's 100% scramble rate.
Yeah, because he hasn't really needed to do many of them.
Yeah, he's probably 1 for 1. So Paul, he was able to get himself to 4 under, which I would say is a pretty decent start. Not the greatest, but
Still trying to get the feel for everything.
For sure.
Totally get it.
Yep. Calvin, the perfect
Half.
9 for 9. And just so you know, this card, no one bogeyed on the front 9 here.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I haven't seen that too often.
No, that's great to see. Calvin was one of 4 players who did shoot a perfect 9 under. James and Zach sitting at 5 under, 68th place. Paul sitting at 4 under. So we're going to take a look at the top scores here. Anthony Barella was still with that hot round at 15 under. You can see Barry in there. Brian Earhart, you were talking about him earlier. It's nice to see him up there.
Yeah, a lefty putting up numbers like that in a predominantly righty course.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's awesome to see. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you stay tuned for back 9. We have 3 other rounds after that. We have a lot of disc golf for you.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Take care.